Comfort is a drug. Once you become used to it, it becomes addicting. Give a weak man steady sex, food, and cheap entertainment. Watch him throw his ambitions out the window. The comfort zone is where dreams go to die. Y'all, welcome back to the Ben Barker Fitness Podcast. Huge shout out to those of you who have been listening. If you would, please subscribe, leave a review, and share this with someone you think it might be an encouragement to. On my podcast last week, I had my brother-in-law on the show again, Kyler Harris, and he's just dropping knowledge bombs. The dude knows his stuff about fitness, faith, and family, but we were talking about why men need to remain challenged. Y'all, life, marriage, finances, all of that, fitness, a muscle, it takes resistance to grow. If you're not providing resistance, atrophy takes place, those muscles shrink, and that applies to everything. If you're not putting in that work to your marriage, it's not going to grow. If you're not putting in the work to your muscles, those are not going to grow. If you're not putting in the work and receiving resistance against your finances, like not spending on stupid stuff, working harder to grow your income, it's not going to grow. You have to put the work in, and we have to be challenged. And we talked about like the misconception of men thinking, or people in general, like one day we'll just like make enough money, retire, and lay on a beach and do nothing, but that's not fulfilling. Challenge is when you are fulfilled, right? When you've worked really hard for something and you win the results. Like you don't get results. Nobody just gets results. You have to work in order to get those results. I saw a guy at the store recently, and he was kind of like, man, like you're looking fit. It must be nice or something like that in your 30s. He was like, I'm 50 and my metabolism is just crashed. And I'm not being mean. I realize like at a point, your metabolism does slow down when you're like 60, not when you're 50. That's according to Harvard, I'm pretty sure. But I'm like, bro, I've seen you at the gym. Your metabolism is not the problem. You're like posted up on machines, like talking to your friends and not actually working out. You're there for like, oh, I was at the gym for 2.5 hours. But yeah, you worked out for 15 minutes. Y'all, we have to challenge. That's why like people get in the habit of they have like these like 7 exercises that they do, like the guys, like they do like preacher curls, bench press, and calf raises with zero intensity, and like, man, I'm just not seeing results in my metabolism. It just crashed. It's not working anymore. Like your metabolism is fine. It's your work ethic that's the problem, and your grasp upon reality. And I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just being honest, y'all. We have to put the work in. So the SMART goal, right? Specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time bound. I've always loved the SMART acronym, and we have to use it in a sense for all of our goals. Like it has to be specific. Like what are we shooting for? Is it measurable? You can't just say, I want to get fit. Like how do you want to get fit? Do you want to shave 3 minutes off of your mile time? And then also has to be attainable. And this is the one I struggle with. And a friend challenged me on this. Attainable, like is it possible? Relevant, it's like, are you doing the right things in order to hit the goal? Because you can't be like, I want to swim my mile faster and you jog, right? You have to do things specifically to your goal in order to hit it, and time bound. It can't be like, I'll get to it when I get to it. It's like, I'm going to hit this goal within 12 months. So I made a post recently and I was telling people about setting goals. And I had a friend who's very fit and very successful. He's like, I mean, should we be shooting for attainable goals? Like we're just trying to be average? And so I think you have to play with it a little bit, right? When we're shooting for something. So basically, like I have set a goal for myself, and I've put myself in a corner, my back against a wall for a goal that is going to be very challenging for me to hit. And I already posted about it on social media, so I can't take it back now because I've put it out there. It has to be a goal that is going to be a real challenge. Like if you're like, I want to run my mile in 37 minutes, like that's not much of a challenge. So for me, I decided I wanted to squat 500 pounds and run 1 mile in 5 minutes or less on the same day. And so my birthday was on May 29th. And so I'm giving myself until next year, May 29th of 2024, to make this goal happen. As far as I know, only 2 to 3 people have accomplished this, namely a guy named Adam Klink. And he crushed it. He's a big dude. I think he hit the mile in maybe like 4 minutes and like 56 seconds, somewhere in that realm. And then he squatted 500 pounds on the same day. And he did 50 pull-ups in a row, like butterfly kipping pull-ups, CrossFit style. This dude is insanely fit. And I've always wanted to do this goal. I'm a pretty good runner, but I was a sprinter in college. I don't have very much endurance, and I've always had a strong back squat. My best back squat is maybe like 465 or 470. But the mile is not my strong suit, and I've got a ways to go on my squat. And I've just been wrestling with this. I'm like, I'm still young. I feel like I'm in my prime right now. I'm the strongest I've ever been. I'm like, if I'm going to do this, now is the time. And I've just wrestled with it. And so I decided I'm going to do it. And I'd already consulted a friend, Greg Hartwick, on how to get stronger on my squat and like his recommendations on that. Because Greg has I think he's pushing 800 pounds on his squat, right? He's an animal. And so I couldn't back out because I've already talked to him. So anyways, I go to test that morning my mile, and I'm thinking I'll come in at the mile at like 5 minutes and 30 seconds, right? Or so, because I'm not in great shape, but I'm a pretty good runner. And so I finish my mile, and I'm gassed. Like, I feel like I went pretty hard. I ran pretty well, and I came in at 5:54. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. And it wasn't a breeze, all right? So I'm already discouraged. But I've already put it out there. I have to do it at this point. And then I go to the gym and I'm like, you know what? I'll get 450 today. That's only 50 pounds to go. And I'll start building up, progressive overload, all of that. I've got a plan to make this happen. So I go into the gym, I put on 450, and it just buries me. Absolutely buries me. And you know what it's like when you fail in front of a bunch of people watching at the gym. And at the gym, when you load 4 plates on the bar, people are watching typically. So 450, and it just buries me. It makes loud noises because I have to go to the safety arms. And I'm just like completely discouraged. So I slap on 440, drop it 10 pounds, I rest a little bit, and I hit 440 with relative ease. So I've got 60 pounds I need to add to my squat in a year, and I need to shave almost a minute off of my mile time. And so I'm debating. I'm like, I've only told a couple people that I want to do this. Like, I can still back out, and there won't be that much shame. But I just couldn't do it. I'm like, my sons need to see me striving for something, and I need to challenge myself in order to keep growing. Like the guy that I saw at the store that said his metabolism slows down, he just hasn't been challenging himself. And I'm not going to put myself in that position where I'm like 40. I'm like, oh, must be nice to all these young guys to have a fast. No, I will still be challenging myself. And that's why yearly I'm going to challenge myself, and I will play with that SMART goal, because when I turned 29, I was stupid and I was very fit, and I was like, I'm going to do 30 before 30. So I made 30 goals that I wanted to accomplish before I turned 30. And 2 of those goals were squatting 500 pounds and running a sub 5-minute mile. And I wanted to do like 30 strict pull-ups in a row, all these other goals. And I just failed miserably at everything. It was because I was scattered. I had too many goals, right? And I literally, like, out of my 30 goals, I think I maybe accomplished 2. And the other 28, I just failed miserably. So then the next year, I was smarter. I was like, well, this year, I just want to get my body weight up to 180 pounds. I've never weighed 180 pounds. And I want to deadlift 550. So I only set 2 goals between 30 to 31, and I crushed both of those. And the next year, I was just tired, so I didn't set any goals. And then I was just disappointed in myself because I didn't pick a way to challenge myself this year. And so I think this is just what I'm going to do for the rest of my life. Every year when I hit a birthday, I'm going to choose something that is going to push me and that scares me. And this goal scares me. I'm embarrassed. Like, I'll be embarrassed if I don't hit it because everybody's watching and everybody knows I'm going for it. And I could fail miserably. But what I started thinking about was like, what if I do fail miserably, right? So I shoot for this goal. I'm going to get stronger. I'm going to get faster. Like, what's the worst case scenario? One, maybe I get embarrassed a little bit because I let people down or I let myself down. But really, no matter what, I'm going to get incredibly fit and much stronger. And like, nothing bad can come from that. And when you put yourself out there, you put yourself on the line, you're back against the wall, you back yourself into a corner, you gotta go for it. Men, you must challenge yourself. Pick goals that scare you a little bit and stretch yourself with marital goals, faith goals, fitness goals, financial goals, all of those. Push yourselves. I know not Grant Cardone isn't for everybody, but he's always like 10x, baby. Like 10x your goals, man. Like, set big goals that scare you, that make small-minded people kind of like snicker, like, oh, they're not going to be able to do that. And then be that person that kicks doors in, bust through walls like the Kool-Aid man, and just start crushing goals. Adam Klink, the guy who has accomplished the 500-pound back squat and the 5-minute mile, commented on my post. So I put the post up with my times and stuff, said I was a little disappointed in my times, and he's like, let's go. And I said, man, after I saw my times and my weight on the squat, I kind of wanted to find a different goal. And he commented back and said, well, that's not very alpha of you. And I was like, dang, Adam, come on, man, calling me out. And that's what's great about having other men in your corner that will call you out on your bullcrap and challenge you. And that's where social media is a beautiful thing, when you're getting challenged by high performers that you don't even know. I know social media can be a negative thing at times. Unfollow all the people. Like, I don't care if it's, your cousin and they're just posting negative stuff all the time. Unfollow them, block them. I'm sure you can block stuff that they post without actually unfollowing them, because I'm just not doing it anymore, man. If you don't encourage me, uplift me, or challenge me, or make me laugh, your account's not for me. And make sure your account is that way as well. I told somebody recently, who had a small following on social media, I was like, everybody is selling something. Even obviously I'm selling workout programs, but each of us, we're either selling something fake, something negative, or we're helping and encouraging. And I choose to be, I hope I'm an account that is encouraging and uplifting people. So even if you don't have a product or service that you're selling something, and just make sure it's not negativity, and then make sure that you are not intaking that negativity. So my challenge to you today is to pick a challenge. Even if it's not around your birthday, that's fine. Be in the next 12 months, I'm going to accomplish this thing. Bedros Keuilian has a deal where he does 6 times a year. He'll pick something that he's never done before and challenges himself to accomplish it. So he's done he wanted to learn to surf, and so he got a surf instructor for 6 weeks. He decided he's a bigger, muscular guy. He wanted to run a full marathon, and he was like, okay, I'll learn how to do it in 6 weeks. And so we got a running coach, and in 6 weeks he had ran a marathon. Pick something. Make sure it is a SMART goal, and don't make it super attainable, just outside the realm of attaining, so you really have to push for it. And if we're regularly doing stuff like this and challenging ourselves, I'm doing air quotes for those of you who are just listening and not watching, our metabolism isn't going to slow down. As long as you don't slow down, I think your metabolism is going to be just fine. Keep challenging yourself. Let's do this thing. I would love to know some ideas for some things that you are going to do to challenge yourself. It can be something small at first, a 5K, adding 20 pounds to your bench press, learning how to snatch and clean and jerk, going to your first CrossFit class. It can be something small, doing 100 double unders in a row, whatever it may be. Pick something that's really going to push you, and I would love to hear about it. Leave it as a comment. Message me on Instagram. I'm very responsive on there, and I would love to hear y'all. If you need help with your workouts, sign up for a free 7-day trial of my daily workout subscription on my website. I will link that in the notes. Or I have an awesome 4-week workout plan in my Leaner and Stronger ebook. And y'all, even if it's not my program, find a good program and have a plan so you can attack the gym and crush your goals. Y'all, let's crush some goals and encourage some people along the way. Thank you for listening today.